Oh, yeah. Welcome, everybody, to another live stream. I had a bunch more alien stuff, and I've lost my notes. But I also had a bunch of information, documentaries, clips on Business Church, actually refuting the corporate structure, the businessmen, Peter Drucker, behind Business Church. Business Church is actually a corporate model, corporate structure entity that was created by a man who was not even a Christian, but was a businessman, Peter Drucker. Rick Warren was the understudy of this man, right? And by the way, I got my banana phone ready to go. So when I get in trouble, I'm gonna call up the scientists. I'm gonna call up Matt Dillon Monkey. If anybody presents an argument I can't refute, I'm gonna call the experts. I'm calling Matt Dillon Monkey on the banana phone. Woo, woo, woo. Woo, 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 woo. That's how it rings. It goes. Anyways, everything is still alien centric, alien vibes, alien coded. People are still getting butts touched by their gay space uncles and cousins. We still got mega church grifters running crazy. The Protestant evangelicals are absolutely raging on X for days now, calling out Ruslan, calling out Godlogic, calling out Steven Anderson's cult, doing the debate with his minion. For those that don't know, why would you do a debate with that dude? Because he's Steven Anderson's goblin. And of course, we know we're not going to do a debate with Steven Anderson. That guy's psycho insane. But I'm happy to debate his understudies, his little mini-me's. And that's why we did that debate. They were all raging. Hopefully, we'll get some of these people to call in. I've been going back and forth with evangelicals for days. We had a Instagram evangelical. He said to me today, the mainline Protestant church is the church Jesus established. I hope he calls in. However, I'm not optimistic that any of those people will actually call in. Now, we know Godlogic is never going to discuss it or debate or call in. And people think I'm being mean. No, I'm not being mean. So it's great that Godlogic refutes Muslims, but Christianity is not just refuting Muslims. It's not just convincing people of the intellectual proposition of the deity of Christ or the Trinity. You can't have monarchical Trinitarianism outside of the church. What do you mean L? If Godlogic sends people and his proxies send people to the anti-Orthodox chats, the lowest tier goobers and Skittles men on the internet, that's got to call that out. I don't care. We're not doing a popularity contest. This is not what it's about. It's not about who's the nicest. That's great. But it's also important to tell people, look, you got to do apologetics from within the church. You got to do apologetics from underneath the authority structure that Christ set up. Who is PSC? You guys are talking about stuff I don't even know what you're talking about. Monarchia of the Father. I'm not talking about monarchy. Although monarchy is obviously an outworking of the monarchia of the Father. But that's the only Trinitarian doctrine. The other ones are not correct. Now, the people might be sincere, but they're sincerely wrong. You can be sincerely wrong. And as we said on the X Space yesterday, or the day before, whenever it was, you can't have Christianity without the church. It's just another type of heresy. So basically, you're sending people from one sect to another sect. It doesn't matter if Godlogic's dad is an evangelical pastor. None of that matters in terms of what makes a person an approved teacher. Alex is trying to debate Ruslan's goblins. So people are asking, why are you dealing with or responding to any? Because JP and this other goober, they're the minions of Ruslan. And I'm going to show you why this is worth calling out. Look over here on X. So for example, when Godlogic converts people out of Islam, he sends them to Messianic rabbi churches. That's just going from one heresy to another. This is why Christianity is not a lowest common denominator. This is the assumption of all the evangelicals. This is why they're typically anti-dogmatic, because the whole ethos of evangelicalism is lowest common denominator. And it doesn't matter whether it's David Wood or Ruslan or Gavin Ortland or all of those people who network together and have the same crew, who, by the way, are all rabid Zionists for the most part, which should tell you something else. To send people to Judaizing heterodox sects is defeating the whole purpose of converting them out of Islam. But they believed in the deity of Christ now. Yeah, so what? It's not like, does the Nicene Creed just have one doctrine? Just believe in the deity of Christ. The Nicene Creed has a totality package. You can't pick out one. I don't believe that one. I believe 90% of the Nicene Creed, but not that one. I don't believe in one Holy Catholic Apostolic Church. Well, then you're not part of the church. I mean, it's that simple. And by the way, I can easily prove this point, which no one ever thinks to do. This is why you can't just start up apologetics without time spent as Orthodox learning the faith and becoming and attaining truly Orthodox with the Orthodox phronema. Otherwise, you're just, he who does not gather with us scatters abroad. They're just scattering abroad, even if they have good intentions. And that's why you said, well, but you talk to them. Yeah, I talk to these people to bring them to Orthodoxy. So we give time for Sam Shamoon. And he decides, I don't want Orthodoxy. I want Roman Catholicism, but I want to make up my own apostolic Christianity. Well, good luck with that. So long. And it's the same with any of these people. When you give them time, when you try to bring them in the right direction, and then you wait, once they start attacking Orthodox people, and by promoting the Ruslan goobers who attack Orthodoxy every single day, that's, again, coming against us. You can't play both sides. I'm going to be friends with everybody, when it's not about being friends with everybody. It's about what's true. It's about, is there one Holy Catholic Apostolic Church or not? It's that simple. And I'm going to make it really simple right here. So Ruslan, Gavin Ortland, Godlogic, they all say, I am against any church that claims exclusivity or that has exclusivity claims about itself. Okay, everybody should know that the church of the first 1,000 years consistently taught exclusivity claims about itself. The church of the first millennium universally held to an exclusivist ecclesiology. This alone shows that all the Protestant evangelicals who reject exclusivist ecclesiologies are therefore not the church. Does anybody ever think to look to what the church of the first 1,000 years said about itself? They just assume that, oh, the church is anybody gathering in the name of Jesus. No, it's not. Every heretical sect believes that they're gathering in the name of Jesus, including Mormons. But almost all of these people will say Mormons don't count. Okay, why? Says who? They name the name of Jesus. They don't believe Jesus is Lord. Yes, they do. They believe he's a Lord, one of many gods. Oh, well, see, they don't believe in the Trinity. Well, they believe in a Trinity. They just redefine it as tritheism. So you have to be precise. And once you start nailing what the specifics are, you're making our very point. There's no such thing as a simple gospel. Oh, he just preaches the simple gospel, friend. What? There is no, what is that? It's the death, burial, resurrection of Jesus. Yeah, okay, but what does that mean? What if I'm a Gnostic who believes that Jesus was spiritually undergoing a death, burial, and resurrection, but it wasn't in the flesh? Well, that don't count. Yeah, exactly. So the words themselves are not enough to just repeat empty words. And the mere fact that all of these unapproved, doing their DIY teachers, they all do their own thing, and they all make the same mistakes and go in the wrong direction. They think, I'll take a little bit of Orthodox ecclesiology, a little bit of smells and bells. If I like, I'll go Anglican over here. I'll take a little bit of essence energy. You can't, it doesn't work like that. There's no essence energy doctrine outside of Orthodoxy. It doesn't work with Protestant theology and PSA. FDA, welcome. You can join us. Appreciate that. We'll be taking all kinds of calls tonight. We'll be looking at the actual history of Peter Drucker, the founder of Business Church. Y'all thought I was joking. I was joking, but also wasn't joking, because Business Church is actually a business structure from an actual corporate man who was not Christian at all. He even says on record, I'm not Christian. I just enjoy the business structure of the church. And then he taught Rick Warren and all those goobers, whom the rest of these people emulate, including the Gavin Ortland made-up denomination, his gay church, including Ruslan's made-up R&B rap church, including whatever gay church Mahler and his coward buddies go to, Grinder Church, whatever they go to, and also presumably the same messianic synagogue, rabbinical synagogue, that Godlogic sends his convert Muslims to. Watch this.
We'll definitely do that.
I can get you connected with so I got Radar Apologetics, who's actually he's a messianic rabbi. Here he says that you can connect with him. He has a synagogue, and
Okay, that
he
sounds
teaches,
amazing.
and so he disciples. Awesome. So Radar Apologetics, he says, this is the rabbi I'm talking about. He says we disciple online through Zoom.
Yeah, so join the Messianic Rabbi online Zoom congregation. That's not Christianity. That's Judaizing heresy. That's not orthodoxy. It's not right believing. He's just taking people from one stupid sect to another stupid sect. And here's what I assume he's talking about. And it's the made up rabbinic messianic synagogue that Ruslan preaches at. Imagine any group letting Ruslan preach, wearing his stupid ass t-shirts at the podium, promoting his book, plugging his book at the podium. My guy Ruslan preached a great sermon at Rabbi Eduardo's synagogue. Who the hell is he even Jewish? I'm talking about ethnically. Rabbi Eduardo. Just some Brooklyn Hispanic dude, some cholo. Hey, bro, I got into Messianics or whatever. Dude, like, what if I was like totally like a rabbi or whatever? Like, I could get like a tefillin, and then like I have like a little bit of a tamale hanging off of my tefillin. Hey, I got a tamale, bro. What if I could put like a little tamale up here on my head, like a little tiny hat or whatever, bro? Dude, I could like totally be a Messianic or whatever, bro. This is who they're sending people to. Rabbi Eduardo. Messianic Jewish turntablist. Of course he's a rapper. Of course. Of course Ruslan would preach at Messianic rap synagogue with gay P uncut over here.
It's what's so amazing is, like, remember all those videos you did of my church, right?
Yeah, Randy Balls.
Yeah. And it's all
it's literally Ruslan. Ruslan is Randy Balls.
Yeah, which one is?
Ruslan is Randy Balls. There's no difference between them. It's just Randy Balls is in the South, and Ruslan's a Wigga.
You're gonna do Rabbi Balls.
No, well, yeah, Rabbi Wigga, Rabbi Balls, Rabbi Randy Bolstein. Come down to Messianic Synagogue. I talk like Woody Allen.
Oh God, is that velvet?
Are those kosher tamales? Spin el dreidel. Please don't touch my el dreidel. Anyway, but now you see why these people are also Judaizing Zionist heretics. It's not just the theology, which Ruslan, by the way, says he doesn't care about. Shocker. Business church man doesn't care about theology. Shocker. Nor do any of these guys. Nor does Gay P Uncut. They don't care about the theology. And we already had the debate with JP Uncut. And by the way, he was super nice when he called in. Oh, it's just so nice. Super. So, again, these people are always double, two-faced, snaky creeps. They play, they're so nice online. They're polished and sweet. I was talking to Father Moses yesterday, and he said, in his experience as a priest, the people that are the polished, public, sweet people are usually the worst people in their actual life. And he says that from many years, over a decade of being a priest. So look, here's what I'm saying. Dunking on Muslims is not the essence of Christianity. It's part of apologetics, but Christianity is not apologetics. Do people not realize that? It's not a new set of propositions that you assent to. Oh, I formerly assented to a bunch of Quranic hadith propositions, and now I assent to all of these evangelical propositions, therefore I'm saved. But that's not what the religion is. That's more Talmudic religion of the book. And by the way, the IFB people are the exact copy of that. They're the perfect example of that. They're actually more consistent than all these other people, because they're like, well, if Protestantism is a religion of the book's God. Y'all heard Pastor Anderson's minion saying the KJV is an eternally uncreated book that he worships. Let's see, there was something else I was going to. Anyway, so here, and by the way, you're being unfair to Godlogic. Why are you being mean? Do you guys not realize after all of these years when I'm consistently right about this stuff, you just automatically jump on the assumption that I am just randomly starting drama for no reason. And I just have let me pick today. Who do I not like today? No, that's not what happens. We were always friendly with Godlogic. Always been friendly with all of these people, and calling them out doesn't mean I hate them. Calling out IP. I like IP, not AP, IP, right? Michael Jones, we've had great conversations, podcasts. But that's why I would call them out on this, because you can't just have online Christianity that is anti-Islamianity. That's not what it is. It's a holistic package deal. And I'm sorry if Avery's dad is an evangelical minister, if that's going to hold him back from the totality and the fullness of the faith and the true church, well, that disqualifies a person from being a teacher at this point. And again, all of these people are also hyper-Judaized, pro-Judaizing, seemingly Zionist. And look at these goblins over here. They're bragging about the fact that Godlogic is supporting their stupid show. And by the way, they're so stupid, they don't even know that that's not what slander is. If I call out Godlogic, that's not slander. You don't even know what slander is. It's so dumb. And no, of course, they're not going to debate Nick. They're not going to debate me. They're not going to debate Alex. They only want people to call in because they're also clout goblins. They want to get attention for their tiny ass little channels because they're Ruslan's minion. When Ruslan was talking about his co-pastors that he consults with for spiritual advice, he's talking about Mahler and these goblins, these idiots. Okay, so I think that's all I wanted to get to. Now, the topics today are anything to do with disclosure or anything to do with Protestantism, evangelicalism, liturgical worship, iconography, because I'm going back and forth with Top Lobster all day today because he's a friend of ours, like him as well. But look, the fact that I'm friends with somebody is precisely why I would say, I think you're wrong about this, bro. I want you to get over here on our side, on the right team here. Just saying some true things and being sincere is good, but you also got to be under the right church.